This page is the front cover of Saturn Fan Magazine from December 1996, featuring a prominent image of a mech that looks straight out of Virtua on against a city backdrop. The main highlights are the highly anticipated Fighters Megamix, showcasing a dream crossover battle between the cast of Virtua Fighter and Fighting Vipers, with a promise of many screenshots. Another major feature is the first public look at screenshots for the popular anime game Neon Genesis Evangelion Second Impression. The cover also lists coverage for a wide array of essential Saturn titles from the era, including The King of Fighters 96, Enemy Zero, Virtua Cop 2, Sakura Taisen, Daytona USA Circuit Edition, Christmas Nights, Tactics Ogre, Tokimeki Memorial, and Riglord Saga 2, among many others. It teases exclusive scoops on games like Full Cowl Mini 4WD Super Factory and Digital Age, Cyber Angel. Overall, it's packed with coverage on the biggest and most interesting games hitting the Saturn at the time, making it a vital read for any fan of the console. This page focuses heavily on games compatible with the Virtua Gun light gun accessory, highlighted by the large artwork for Virtua Cop 2 featuring the main characters, including the new partner, Janet. It details Virtua Cop 2's fast pace, branching stage paths, and more challenging bosses, confirming it's a gun shooting game that supports the Virtua Gun. Also featured are two other Virtua Gun compatible titles, Hokkaider, a gun shooting game based on the movie, and Die Hard Trilogy. Die Hard Trilogy brings the three classic films into one game, combining gun shooting and racing gameplay, and supporting both the Virtua Gun and racing controller. The page also includes announcements for Sega Saturn events, such as the Digital Circus, and a Christmas promotion, offering the limited edition Christmas Nights with the purchase of a Saturn console. This page is a full feature on the highly anticipated simulation RPG masterpiece, Tactics Ogre, Let Us Cling Together, making its debut on the Sega Saturn. The striking artwork depicts the game's heroes alongside a formidable dragon, hinting at the epic scope of the story. The page highlights the game's deep narrative with a compelling quote, "Are you telling me to dirty my hands?" Key features are detailed, including a stellar voice cast featuring 17 popular actors, bringing the dramatic event scenes to life. The gameplay introduces strategic 3D maps with the concept of height, adding a new dimension to tactical battles. The game promises a grand musical score, branching scenarios, and multiple endings, allowing players to explore different paths and immerse themselves in the rich world. Also included is the Deneb report, an in-game database packed with over 100 illustrations, providing lore and details about the world and characters like Deneb, shown holding a basket. Players who purchase the game can participate in a campaign for a chance to win limited edition Ogre series merchandise, such as a special metal figure or an exclusive memory card. For those new to the series, Legend of Ogre Battle is also advertised as currently available. Tactics Ogre was scheduled for release on December 13, 1996, at a price of 5,800 yen. This page features a prominent advertisement for Battle Athletes Dai Undokai on the Sega Saturn, a hot-blooded, beautiful girl sports simulation game. The striking illustration depicts the main character alongside the tagline, "Please make her the best girl in the universe." The ad highlights the game's release date of December 13th, priced at 5,800 yen plus tax, and mentions a pre-order campaign for special bonuses. The right side of the page is the contents list for this issue of Saturn Fan Magazine, issue number 25, from December 13th, 1996. The contents cover a wide range of Sega Saturn topics, starting with feature reports on games like Neon Genesis, Evangelion Second Impression, Last Bronx, and Fighters Megamix. There are also strategy guides for titles such as Denousenki Virtual On and Virtua Cop 2, alongside previews and information on new releases like Daytona USA Circuit Edition, Riglord Saga 2, Christmas Nights, and continuations of reports like the SEGA Saturn Digital Circus. Further sections detail upcoming games, strategy guides for games like The King of Fighters 96 and Sakura Wars, and reviews including Tactics Ogre and Super Puzzle Fighter 2X. The contents also include regular features like game news, database information, reader polls and presents, and a diary from the Sega CS development team. The cover art features a mech from Denousenki Virtual On. This page delivers a second impact-level shock on Saturn, with the first public reveal of screenshots for Neon Genesis Evangelion Second Impression. Following the massive popularity of the anime, the second game adaptation is hitting the Sega Saturn. Much like the first game, This is an adventure title that promises improved quality and the inclusion of original characters. The battle scenes are transitioning to polygon models, a significant upgrade from the previous entry's anime movie style. Screenshots show both the adventure segments featuring familiar characters like Shinji and Asuka, and intense polygon-rendered combat with the EVAs. This sequel is shaping up to be a must-play for fans, expanding on the series' universe within the game format. This page delves further into Neon Genesis Evangelion's second impression for the Sega Saturn, introducing a key new element. The game original character, Yamagishi Mayumi, a mysterious transfer student. The game promises to expand upon the high school lives of Shinji and the familiar cast, an aspect not fully explored in the anime. It functions as an adventure game, where player choices drive the story, featuring voice work from the original cast and integrated anime sequences. Screenshots showcase the gameplay interface, including the character naming screen and save data management, designed to feel like accessing NERV files. There's also a visual display for tracking your scenario completion rate. Character art highlights the new student, Yamagishi Mayumi, both with and without her glasses, and provides a full view of Shinji. Asuka is also shown in uniform for comparison, suggesting her interaction with the new character will be significant. This title is clearly designed to give fans a deeper dive into the characters' daily lives within the EVA universe. This page continues the look at Neon Genesis Evangelion's second impression, highlighting a major technical change: the transition to 3D polygon models for the EVAs in gameplay. Screenshots clearly display the polygon versions of Unit 01 and other EVAs, showcasing their wireframe and finished models. The article explains that motion capture technology was used to achieve smoother, more realistic animation for these polygon characters. The combat system is now polygon-based, a significant departure from the anime-style sequences of the previous game, although the controls are expected to feel similar. The page also includes interviews with director Masahide Kobayashi and designer Yukiyuki Shigeki, who discuss the development process. They touch upon the challenges of creating the game, balancing the adventure elements centered around the school setting with the combat sequences, and ensuring the game appeals to both dedicated fans and newcomers. Overall, it reveals the shift in technical approach and the developers' intentions for this second title. This page shifts focus to the highly anticipated fighting game, Last Bronx, and its upcoming port to the Sega Saturn. It's a 3D weapon-based fighter set in a fictionalized version of Tokyo, where rival gangs battle for dominance. The game features 8 distinct characters, each wielding their unique weapon, bringing a gritty, street-level feel to the combat. The article highlights the core gameplay, emphasizing the use of weapons and the crucial attack cancel system, which allows for complex strategies and counters. It also touches upon the transition to 3D polygons from the arcade version, which ran on Sega's Model 2 board, noting the realistic character movements achieved. Screenshots showcase the intense, close-quarters action, the diverse cast of fighters, and the urban environments where the battles take place. Interviews with key development staff from Sega's AM3 division provide insight into the challenges and goals for the Saturn port. They discuss adapting the intricate weapon combat and realistic motion to the home console, as well as their future plans for AM3. The developer notes the importance of making the Saturn version accessible and enjoyable, ensuring the fast-paced action translates well. This page details the Saturn port of the 3D weapon fighter Last Bronx, featuring interviews and gameplay previews. This page dives into Fighters Mega Mix, the incredible crossover fighting game from Sega's legendary AM2 division. It features characters from both the Virtua Fighter and Fighting Vipers series, clashing in entirely new ways. The page includes an interview with development chief Hiroshi Kataoka, who explains that the game isn't just a simple combination of the two series, but a completely new fighting experience built around their diverse cast. Screenshots highlight the action, showing characters like Bond from Fighting Vipers and Akira from Virtua Fighter battling it out in various stages. Kataoka touches on the development process, the unique gameplay blend, and the philosophy behind creating this dream matchup, promising a distinct feel separate from its parent games. This page continues the exploration of Fighters Megamix, featuring an interview with development chief Hiroshi Kataoka. He elaborates on the game's design philosophy, suggesting a more lighthearted and entertaining approach compared to purely technical fighters, even pondering if his team is going for a comedy route. Key gameplay features discussed include the new evade button, adding a defensive layer to combat, and the graphical technique of Guruj shading used to improve character model appearance. An exciting detail revealed is the existence of 10 hidden characters, which players will discover early on. Kataoka emphasizes that the game's highlight is the unique crossover of the Virtua Fighter and Fighting Vipers casts, offering a different kind of fun and a vast roster, along with enjoyable music, aiming to be a game everyone can enjoy, especially during the festive season. Screenshots showcase the action and the updated character visuals. This page continues highlighting Fighter's Megamix, showcasing several key characters and their signature moves with multiple screenshots. Raxel from Fighting Vipers is featured, emphasizing his unique guitar weapon, armor-breaking attacks, and flashy style, particularly his ground game. Shun Di from Virtua Fighter 3 is also detailed, focusing on his drunken fist style, tricky maneuvers, and ability to drink for tactical advantages, along with impactful grappling techniques. The page also presents Bon from Fighting Vipers, highlighting his powerful, direct attacks, devastating armor breaks, and overall destructive capabilities. Finally, Akira Yuki, the Virtua Fighter veteran, is shown with his strong single-hit Hakioken techniques, including guard breaks, and a new, powerful special move originating from Virtua Fighter 3, demonstrating his formidable offense. The screenshots effectively illustrate the character's diverse fighting styles and special moves within the game. This page continues the deep dive into Fighter's Megamix, profiling 4 more distinct characters. First up is Tokyo from Fighting Vipers, a unique weaponless fighter known for his kick-heavy combos and devastating heel drop attack, which is difficult to avoid. His ground throws add a tricky element, and his running attacks pack a surprising punch. Next is Kagemaru, the ninja from Virtua Fighter, who utilizes speed, tricky tactics, and potent ground throws. His signature Izuna drop is highlighted as a key ninja art, and his aerial combos are particularly effective. Wolf Hawkfield, the powerful wrestler from Virtua Fighter, is all about throws. The page emphasizes mastering grappling techniques, showcasing his giant swing and new catch throws from Virtua Fighter 3. He also possesses strong punch attacks, particularly mid and low hits. Finally, Jane from Fighting Vipers is presented as a fiery warrior with impressive destructive power. Her tornado punch and power smash are noted for their armor-breaking capabilities. A unique feature highlighted is her ability to climb walls, opening up new tactical options in the ring. The page positions these characters as formidable combatants with diverse strategies. Fighter's Megamix features a varied roster. Sarah Bryant, a Virtua Fighter character, uses a Bruce Lee-inspired style with fast kicks and throws. Honey, from Fighting Vipers, excels in aerial combat with kicks and throws. San Harriman focuses on body blows and powerful throws. Picky, the skater from Fighting Vipers, utilizes his skateboard for unique attacks and fast combinations. Lion Rafal from Virtua Fighter employs Chinese Kenpo with rapid chain combos. Finally, Jackie Bryant, Sarah's brother, uses a similar style, with high/low attacks and powerful combinations. Mastering timing and execution is crucial for each character's offensive effectiveness. This page spotlights several characters from Fighter's Megamix. Grace, the rollerblading fighter, is praised for her kicks but has a weakness. Pai Chan is showcased for her fast, versatile moves and parrying. Laui Chan, known for his speed and chain attacks, gets special attention for his powerful kicks and techniques. Jeffrey McWild represents grappling with new, effective throws. The boss character, BM, is introduced as a powerful fighter with strong combinations. Finally, Kuma-chan, despite his comical appearance, is surprisingly strong, known for devastating throws. This page features a Sega power-up report on the highly anticipated Virtual-On Cyber Troopers. The report focuses on surviving the intense, high-mobility battles in the game's virtual space, highlighting its ultra-fast 3D gameplay. It emphasizes the crucial first step, choosing the right Virtualoid mech. The guide introduces the 8 unique Virtualoids available, categorized broadly by their fighting styles: high mobility, high attack power, and balance types. It offers advice on selecting a mech based on your preferred combat style, whether you prioritize looks, total balance, mobility, or sheer attack power. Featured mechs include the versatile Temjin, the highly mobile Viper 2, the powerful close-range Dorcas, the evasive Feiyan, and the heavy-hitting Raiden known for its laser attacks. Screenshots show gameplay in action and the character selection screen. The report suggests that understanding your chosen Virtualoid's strengths and weaknesses is key to success, noting that even a seemingly less powerful mech can be formidable when mastered. The game is presented as a deep 3D action title that supports 2 players and the Twin Sticks controller. The next page dives deep into the core movement mechanics in Virtual-On Cyber Troopers. Essential for navigating the virtual battlegrounds effectively. It covers the fundamental movements, like moving forward, backward, strafing sideways, and diagonal movement, explaining how to perform these actions with both the standard controller and the dedicated twin sticks. Beyond the basics, the guide highlights more advanced techniques specific to the twin sticks, including precise 22.5-degree directional movement and complex rotation maneuvers. It also details the critical dash movement, explaining how adding the dash button allows for quick bursts in all 8 directions, crucial for evasion and closing distance. Jumping is covered as another vital evasive and positional tool. A significant portion is dedicated to canceling techniques, particularly dash cancels and jump cancels. These are presented as high-level strategies needed to minimize vulnerability after actions and gain tactical advantages. Mastering these cancels is shown to be key to high-level play in Virtual On. There are also brief notes on performing some of these techniques using a standard gamepad and alternative strategies for players who find the full rotation movement challenging. The page emphasizes that understanding and utilizing these movement options is paramount to success in the game. This guide to Virtual On Cyber Troopers details the game's offensive techniques. Offensive options are broken down by trigger. The left trigger fires subweapons for utility and status effects. The right trigger activates restraining weapons, used for zoning. Both triggers unleash the powerful but stationary main weapon. Beyond, the guide covers situational attacks such as crouch and jump attacks for evasion. Basic standing attacks form the foundation, with emphasis on canceling techniques. Dash attacks offer aggressive options. Melee combat is also detailed. Right trigger melee provides direct attacks. Left trigger melee varies greatly by Virtua and integrates with guard canceling. Both trigger melee attacks are powerful, often multi-hit, and crucial for guard breaking and canceling. Mastering these techniques is essential for close-range combat success. This page continues the deep dive into Virtual On Cyber Troopers, shifting focus to strategies for specific Virtroids. It provides key tactics for Temujin, Dorcas, Phaeon, Beldor, Viper 2, Balbaspa, APHARMD, and Raiden, highlighting their unique strengths like Temujin's mid-range versatility, Dorcas's charge attacks, Phaeon's dash capabilities, Beldor's missile game, Viper 2's evasion, Balbaspa's mobility, Aparm's aggressive melee, and Raiden's powerful bazooka, all accompanied by screenshots. The main feature is an insightful interview with the game's developers, producer Katsuya Hasegawa and Tai Nishimoto, discussing the challenges and triumphs of bringing the arcade hit to the Sega Saturn. They touch upon overcoming hardware limitations to achieve a faithful port, the design decisions behind the controls, including the arcade twin-stick setup, the successful implementation of the split-screen mode, and express their absolute satisfaction, stated as 100%, with the final product. Finally, the page offers a look at the game's ranking mode, explaining how players earn points and progress through the ranks, which range from beginner all the way up to general and the ultimate all-attack rank. This page dives into Virtua Cop 2, focusing on tactics for achieving high scores and revealing exclusive Sega Saturn features. The core strategy discussed is mastering the Justice Shot, which awards 5 times the points for defeating criminals with precise timing and aim, often targeting their weapons or specific body parts depending on their stance. The guide also emphasizes the advantage of quick draws to clear enemies efficiently and make subsequent targets appear faster. Notably, even non-attacking criminals, like those running away or hiding, should be taken down as they contribute valuable points. The Saturn version brings exciting new content, including the return of mirror mode from the first game, which flips the screen horizontally for a fresh challenge. A significant addition is the ability to select your character Rage, Smarty, or Janet at the start of the game using different buttons, allowing for personal preference. 2 players can even choose the same character. Finally, the arcade's challenging extra stage is included here as the 4th and final stage, tasking players with stopping an airship bomb. For those who miss the perfect Justice Shot, a 3-point shot hitting 3 specific locations can still earn 3 times the points, offering a backup for high-score runs. This page focuses on the boss battles in Virtua Cop 2, emphasizing the critical strategy of defeating them quickly before their attack patterns become overwhelming. It breaks down the tactics for each major boss encountered throughout the game. For the initial boss, Bull, the guide recommends destroying his incoming missiles and thrown objects. The intermediate stage boss, the Arrow Divers, requires players to cycle their attacks between the individual divers and handle both missile barrages and close-quarters attacks. The heavily armored advanced stage boss, the Cat Tank, demands players target its weak points like the treads and arms to reduce its mobility and offensive capabilities, preparing for a final phase. Finally, The fourth stage pits players against Joe Fang, where the key is to prioritize hitting Joe himself while dodging his attacks. A unique section highlights a hidden boss fight. If you defeat the final boss with the character Bad, a special battle is triggered, where rapid-fire attacks are particularly effective. The guide implies this character has a specific advantage in this hidden encounter. Overall, the page provides essential, concise strategies to tackle Virtua Cop 2's diverse boss challenges effectively. This page dives into Terra Fantastica as its release date approaches, featuring an in-depth report and interviews with the development team, RPG designer Naohito Kadokura, and total director Akira Matsumoto. The discussion focuses on the core elements of the game that aren't immediately apparent from playing a sample. They talk about balancing the simulation RPG genre, combining tactical combat with exploration, and a multi-story narrative structure that includes multiple endings. The game world is described as having a European fantasy atmosphere, heavily influenced by the distinct artwork of Akira Yamada, whose character designs and world illustrations are showcased on the page with portraits of characters like Alexis II and Dean. Screenshots illustrate the tactical combat and character interactions, highlighting strategic elements such as using terrain and character placement. The developers emphasize the depth of the world setting and story, aiming for players to feel like the hero as they navigate the game's intricate plot and strategic battles. This page is all about the highly anticipated two-player versus mode in Daytona USA Circuit Edition. It reveals the full details of how players can go head-to-head, noting that while standard split-screen racing is featured, full-screen versus play is also possible using a communication cable or the X-Band online service. The report highlights several unique modes added specifically for competitive play to ramp up the excitement. These include the delay time mode, which functions like a handicap, giving players with different skill levels a chance with staggered starts. There's also the time lag mode, a strategic race against the clock at checkpoints, and the slower car boost mode, designed to help trailing players catch up and keep races close. The screenshots show off the split-screen action and the intense competition. The article emphasizes that these new modes and the robust 2P support elevate the Circuit Edition beyond a simple remake, making the racing even more enjoyable. This page details Daytona USA Circuit Edition's 2P versus mode, highlighting split-screen, full-screen via Link/X-Band, and exciting new competitive game modes. This page delves into a strategy guide for the challenging latter half of Riglord's Saga 2. It highlights key strategic points players will face, particularly focusing on difficult areas like the intricate Pyramid of Isis and the treacherous Desert of Death, where physical strength is constantly drained. The guide provides tips for navigating these dangerous locations, dealing with environmental hazards, and overcoming powerful enemies. It also features detailed analysis and strategies for specific late-game monsters, such as ghosts, dragons, and the formidable statue seas, advising on effective tactics and magic spells to use against them. Screenshots throughout the page illustrate the environments and combat encounters, giving players a visual roadmap of the challenges ahead. The page also points out where to acquire useful items, including powerful equipment in the town of Graviti. This page kicks off with a look at the special holiday gift from Sega, Christmas Nights into Dreams. This limited edition title expands on the original Nights experience, with a unique presentation that changes depending on the timer, acting like a festive calendar. It's packed with bonus content, including a CG gallery, and a fantastic surprise: a bonus game featuring Sonic. Yes, you get to run around a Knights level as Sonic, showcasing his signature speed on the ground. Elsewhere, Sega is hyping up the final days of their Digital Circus event. This is your last chance to get hands-on with upcoming Sega Saturn titles before they hit shelves. The event promises developer talk shows, various game tournaments, and appearances from notable guests like Kenji Ino and Oji Hiroi. A major highlight is the X-Band Compatibility Showcase, featuring exciting Virtua on matches taking place live at both the Tokyo and Osaka venues. The page also mentions the results of previous night's high score and Superlink contests for the original game. This page jumps into the high-octane world of Batoruba, a new competitive armed car action game for the Sega Saturn, prominently featuring the Valva logo. It promises intense battles, with modes supporting 12 players in scenario mode, and up to 6 players in multiplayer, including team battles. Players can customize their vehicles with over 60 different weapon types. The game is framed as an unprecedented entrance exam, where 15 elite characters clash. Screenshots reveal a diverse roster of anime-styled characters, a vehicle status screen, and an overhead view of the battlefield. A variety of vehicle types are shown, such as the buggy, four-footed gun, road roller, rally car, hover, and battle tank. Developed by Ancients and published by Victor, Batoruba features characters designed by manga artist Yoshinori Kato, and music by Michiharu Hashimoto and Genki Hibino. The game was planned for a November 29, 1996 release, with a standard price of 5,800 yen. A side note also mentions that the twin operator accessory enhances the game's opening cinematic. This page presents a double feature, showcasing two distinct Sega Saturn releases. On the left is Blinking Princess Clara, great strategy, an action shooting game with a unique quarter-view perspective. This Atlas title supports two players simultaneously and features colorful anime-style characters, including the titular Princess Clara and her companion, along with animal allies. The gameplay involves shooting enemies and rescuing animals, which provide power-ups. A notable feature is the promise of 18 different endings, encouraging multiple playthroughs. The game is available now. On the right, we have Sengoku Ace Episode 2, the highly anticipated sequel to the arcade hit known internationally as Samurai Aces. This Seikyo-developed horizontal scrolling shooter brings the fast-paced action to the Sega Saturn. Featuring returning characters and new ones, it's highlighted as a complete port of the arcade experience. The game boasts over 30 multi-endings and comes as a 2-disc set, including a premium CRID-ROM packed with bonus content like illustrations and setting materials. Published by Atlas, this title is also currently on sale. Both games offer challenging shooting gameplay and are priced at 6,800 yen. This page features the latest installment of the legendary Dragon Quest series, making its debut on the Super Famicom. It's Dragon Quest II, presented as a full remake with updated graphics, sound, and gameplay features, taking advantage of the Super Famicom hardware. The page highlights the game's rich graphics, unique monsters, and arranged background music tailored to the game's flow. It also mentions the diverse cast of companions who will join you on your grand adventure. Screenshots show updated visuals for exploration, battles, and towns. This highly anticipated port is announced for release on December 6th, a Friday, priced at 8,700 yen before tax. It utilizes a 32 megabit cartridge with battery backup. This is a significant release, bringing a classic RPG masterpiece to a new generation of players on the Super Famicom. This page announces the 97 Sega Saturn Puyo Puyo Tournament and Master Match, scheduled for January 15, 1997, while also promoting the currently available Sega Saturn version of Puyo Puyo 2. This page features a vibrant advertisement for Capcom's upcoming puzzle game, Super Puzzle Fighter 2 Turbo, set to release in December 96 for both the PlayStation and Sega Saturn. The page is bursting with color, showcasing the game's core visual style with various colored gems cascading around a dynamic image of the chibi character Ryu. The game takes beloved Capcom fighters and reimagines them in adorable, super deformed styles for a head-to-head puzzle battle. Screenshots illustrate the classic gem matching action, emphasizing the mechanics of creating powerful multicolored gems by forming squares, unleashing counter gems on your opponent through chains, and finishing with explosive gem destruction via super combos, all happening while the cute character versions duke it out on screen. A lineup of chibi characters is featured at the bottom, including fan favorites like Ryu, Ken, Chun-Li, Morrigan, Felicia, and even characters from other Capcom series like Donovan and Sakura, promising a fun, accessible take on the fighting game universe mashed with addictive puzzle gameplay. The page also promotes a Spazuru Championship tournament event, with preliminary rounds held in Tokyo and Osaka in December, leading up to a final. This was a big deal for the competitive puzzle scene at the time. Super Puzzle Fighter 2 Turbo was a fantastic entry that successfully blended fighting game personalities with accessible puzzle mechanics. This page is a double spread featuring two distinct advertisements from Konami. On the left is an ad for Henry Explorers, an arcade gun shooting adventure game, making its way to the PlayStation and Sega Saturn simultaneously in spring of '97. The visuals highlight various grotesque monsters that players will face, emphasizing that only those skilled in gunplay can uncover the treasure. The ad shows screenshots of the game's first-person perspective action, promising intense monster battles. It was priced at 5,800 yen. The right side features an advertisement for the debut single of Fujisaki Shiori, a popular character from Konami's dating simulation series, Tokimeki Memorial. The single includes the songs Teach Me Mr. Sky and Let's Go Together with the Wind, and it was available in stores on December 5th. This release was handled by Konami Artist Products and distributed by King Records, priced at 1,000 yen. It promotes her image and refreshing melody to fans. This page is a vibrant double spread featuring advertisements for 3 different games coming to the Sega Saturn. On the left side is Stakes Winner, a horse racing and jockey simulation game from Saurus. It promises a realistic experience allowing players to dominate GI races, train and breed their own horses, and even race against friends. Released on December 6th for 5,800 yen, it includes 2 promotional campaigns with chances to win original goods like odds cards or a Saurus jacket. The ad is illustrated with cartoon-style artwork of racehorses and features small screenshots showing the game in action. The right side is all about Smenk's arcade powerhouses. The top half announces the King of Fighters 96, a highly anticipated fighting game making its way to the Sega Saturn on December 27th. This port is fully compatible with the expansion RAM cartridge for optimal performance, and offers various retail packages including a limited set and even a double pack with KOF 95. Below that, the classic run-and-gun action of Metal Slug is also confirmed for the Sega Saturn, scheduled for a spring release, bringing its explosive arcade fun home. Both SNK titles are shown with screenshots highlighting their intense gameplay. This page features previews for several upcoming Sega Saturn titles. On the left, the top section highlights Taikyoku Shogi Kiwame 2, a serious shogi simulation game where a human player faces off against a formidable AI represented by a man with a glowing sphere for a head, promising a challenging match. It's set for release on November 29th. Below that is Gals Panic SS, the Saturn port of the popular arcade action puzzle game, featuring anime-style artwork of numerous female characters and promoting enhanced battle and single-player modes. It's already well received and available now. At the bottom, a small preview for the mahjong game Mahjong Aotenju is shown, expected in late March. The right side of the spread is dedicated to Legend of the Galactic Heroes, a tactical simulation game based on the acclaimed anime series. The artwork prominently displays key characters like Reinhard and Yang, alongside a massive fleet in space. This strategic title brings grand space battles to the console, scheduled for release on December 6th. This page features a preview for the upcoming Sega Saturn adventure game, Digital Ange, Denu Tenshi SS, on the left side. It showcases vibrant character artwork and announces that the Saturn version will feature a completely original story, setting it apart from its PC and PC Engine counterparts. This Bishoujo adventure title is scheduled for release in the spring, with a provisional price of 5,800 yen. On the right, the page promotes Famimaga Land, a special event held every Sunday where players can get an early hands-on experience with unreleased games. Upcoming Sega Saturn titles, including the Konami shooter Parodius Forever with Me and the simulation RPG Tactics Ogre, are highlighted among the playable demos for a specific date in late November. Visitors are encouraged to participate in a game evaluation survey for a bonus telephone card. The section also previews content for the next magazine issue, featuring games like Fighters Megamix and Soul Edge. This page features a large promotion on the left for the re-release of Yakuken Special, an adult strip game rated 18+ for the Sega Saturn, priced at 6,800 yen. It highlights that the game features 12 women and is a last chance to purchase. A smaller section below promotes Haunted Casino, an adult RPG casino game also rated 18+, priced at 7,900 yen, featuring daunting 3D sound and 8 women. The right side is dedicated to King of Saturn, a regular feature incorporating reader feedback and sales data. The main focus is Ranking Street, presenting Sega Saturn game sales charts for early to mid-November. While not listing every title, the feature notes a recent stagnation in Saturn market sales. Top-ranking games during this period included Samurai Showdown, Riglord Saga 2, Lunar, Silver Star Story, and Sakura Wars. The section also previews other content within King of Saturn, such as game evaluations, real-time rankings, and reader contributions. This page features 2 reader reply postcards for Saturn Fan Magazine. On the left is an entry form for the Saturn Fan number 25 Reader Prize giveaway, requiring the reader's address and identifying details. On the right side is a submission postcard for magazine features like the Ranking Street and Game Research Institute, part of the King of Saturn section. This form asks for reader demographics and preferences, including ranking various games listed in grids, such as Castlevania, Symphony of the Night, Saturn version, Virtua Cop 2, Sengoku Blade, and Digital Pinball, Last Gladiators, among others. It's designed to collect reader feedback and data to fuel the magazine's ongoing content and rankings. This page features the Ranking Street section, where reader feedback dictates the top games. Headlining the rankings is Luna, Silver Star Story, claiming a decisive first place with a high overall score, cementing its status as a major RPG release on the platform. The page includes the full ranking table for the top 10 games, along with detailed reader reviews and critiques of Luna. Readers praise the game's production values, including impressive CGI and anime sequences, colorful visuals, and compelling characters. Feedback on the battle system and scenario varies, with some finding it simple but effective, while others have minor criticisms. The overall sentiment is overwhelmingly positive, highlighting the emotional story and immersive world. The page also includes a brief comment from the manufacturer, likely acknowledging the positive reception and hinting at future developments. Visuals include screenshots and character art from the top-ranked RPG. This page continues the Ranking Street feature, showcasing games ranked from 2nd to 7th place based on reader feedback. Langrisser 2i, a strategy RPG, secured 2nd place, praised for its story and character designs, but criticized for its battle system and navigation. Master of Monsters Neo Generation, 3rd, offered enjoyable monster raising but faced difficulty and interface criticisms. Mighty Hits, 4th, a shooter, impressed with its action and character designs, although some found the objectives unclear. Batsugun, 5th, another shooter, gained acclaim for its action and beginner-friendly mode, despite the high difficulty in standard modes. Gambler Jiko Chushinha, Tokyo Mahjongland, 6th, offered a good mahjong experience, but was criticized for dated graphics. World Series Baseball 2, 7th, received praise for its graphics and gameplay, but was criticized for commentary and player names. Each game features reader comments, screenshots, and artwork. This Ranking Street update presents the final standings from player feedback. Starfighter 3000, a space combat simulator, takes 8th place, praised for its immersive experience and intuitive controls, despite some objective criticisms. Shell Shock, a tank action game, secures 9th, lauded for its strategic combat and satisfying destruction, though noted for its difficulty. In 10th is Jewels of the Oracle, a puzzle adventure game loved for its challenging puzzles and atmosphere. The page also features an extra review section covering niche Saturn titles. Included are discussions of Yumi Mix Remix, Metal Black, and a detailed look at Virtua Fighter 2's Saturn port. The update concludes with a call for reader game reviews, listing upcoming target games, and a submission deadline. This page features the Ranking Street real-time game ranking, compiled from reader votes. The big news is the strong showing of RPGs, with Sakura Wars taking the top spot, followed closely by Lunar, Silver Star Story, and Lunar 2, Eternal Blue. The commentary notes how the Lunar series, despite Lunar, Silver Star Story being a remake of a 4-year-old game, remains incredibly popular and highly rated, a testament to its quality. The ranking is determined by a point system based on reader submissions, with higher ranks awarded points from 1st to 5th place. The article also reflects on how votes for popular or multi-platform titles can skew results, but ultimately, it's the enduring hits and well-loved titles that maintain their high positions, showing their deep connection with players. The list continues, detailing many other games and their positions, reflecting the diverse tastes of the Sega Saturn fanbase at the time. This page features the Ranking Street section presenting current popularity and player wishlist rankings. The Ranking Best 30 chart details reader votes, showing various titles across different genres, with commentary above highlighting notable entries and trends. Separately, the Ranking Best 10 wishlist section lists games readers hope to see ported or developed for the console, noting which titles are making a strong showing in desired ports. The central focus is a large feature dedicated to the epic space opera, Legend of the Galactic Heroes. It covers the history of the series' games, stemming from its original OVA form, and announces the upcoming strategy simulation game for the Sega Saturn, noting its accessibility for newcomers and longtime fans. The article also introduces key characters from the series, including Reinhard von Lohengramm, Yang Wenli, and their respective allies like Kirchheis, Mittermeier, Ruenthal, Julian Mintz, Attenborough, Wallen, Kessler, Ansbach, and Mecklinger, often accompanied by character portraits and details on their roles and personalities. A small comic strip provides lighthearted commentary. The page reinforces the franchise's widespread appeal and the anticipation for its console adaptation. This page dives into the Game Research Lab section, putting the spotlight on Victory Goal Worldwide Edition. This is where we get the lowdown on one of the Saturn's premier football titles, focusing on leading your chosen national team to glory. The page features a massive table detailing player statistics for numerous countries, a treasure trove of data for any serious player looking to exploit every edge on the pitch. It's a comprehensive list of player attributes, but for the sake of getting to the action, let's just say it's packed with stats covering everything from shooting power to defense ratings for players across multiple nations. Screenshots scattered throughout show off the gameplay, highlighting dynamic moments like overhead kicks and tactical set pieces, giving you a taste of the on-field action. The developers clearly put effort into refining the experience from the previous Victory Goal. The article mentions updated controls offering more freedom in shooting direction and introduces new ways to score, promising more varied and exciting match outcomes. They even improved goalkeeper AI, making scoring feel more rewarding. It also touches upon the Sega ranking feature, which incorporates real-world soccer rankings into the game's structure, affecting team performance. Using the info provided, you can understand team strengths and hopefully climb the ranks yourself. This guide is essential reading if you want to master the game and leverage the player data to build a winning strategy. This page continues the deep dive into Victory Goal Worldwide Edition, primarily showcasing an extensive table of player statistics. Following on from the previous page's introduction to player data, this section expands the detailed attribute lists for numerous players across different national teams. It serves as a comprehensive resource for players to scrutinize individual abilities, covering ratings for aspects crucial to performance on the virtual pitch, allowing for strategic team building and exploiting player strengths. The next page continues the extensive player statistics tables for Victory Goal Worldwide Edition from the previous page, detailing various attributes for numerous players. The main focus, however, is a preview of the adventure game, Digital Age, Denu Tenshi SS, arriving on the Sega Saturn. This title is an enhanced port of a popular PC Engine game, featuring new illustrations and story elements created specifically for the Saturn release. Described as an adventure game with a narrative rooted in Johann's Revelation and Nostradamus' prophecies, it ties the main character's status as a heavenly angel to gameplay parameters. Player choices and progress influence the story, leading to multiple potential endings, some of which can be quite challenging. While the game boasts a cast of charming female characters, the underlying story is noted as potentially heavy. Key details provided include the genre, developer Takuma Shuten Intermedia, and a target release year of 1997. This page continues the preview for Digital Age, Denu Tenshi SS, focusing on the game's key characters. On the left, we are introduced to the four angels who have descended to Earth to guide humanity. This includes Claire, the eldest sister, appearing tough but truly kind, Foal, the second sister and the game's heroine, and the twin sisters, Lilia and Berulu, one described as pure-hearted and the other with a distinct personality. The right side introduces characters sent to watch over humanity, including the unique human character, Lamb, a super future person with abilities beyond human limits. Alongside her are three fallen angels: Millie, a younger sister born to oppose the angels; Sephi, the first of the 99th generation fallen angels, who seems clumsy but is thoughtful; and Mel, Millie's elder sister and leader of the fallen angels, who appears capable but has her own flaws. The article suggests the game explores the nuanced relationship between angels and fallen angels, where the lines between good and evil are not always clear-cut, and player interaction shapes the outcome. This page dives into Bakusu Kyudai Let's and Go! Full Cow Mini 4WD Super Factory, a detailed simulation game based on the hit Mini 4WD manga and anime series. Leveraging precise real-world data, this title offers players a deep dive into the world of Mini 4WD racing and customization. You'll find several modes to engage with. The race mode pits you against characters from the series, challenging you to tune your machine to suit various course layouts. The simulation mode is where things get serious, allowing full customization of your machine using Tamiya's official parts, and even creating your own courses with the course edit function. It's designed to help players understand how different setups perform. For those looking to improve, the lecture mode features advice from Dr. Tsuchiya and the series characters, explaining tuning techniques and part functions from basic to advanced levels. The game also includes a wide range of popular full-cowl Mini 4WD models, including original designs, emphasizing realistic physics, and performance simulated from vast amounts of data. It's clear this isn't just a simple racing game, but a comprehensive simulator for Mini 4WD enthusiasts. This page features a look at 2 upcoming games. First, we have Farland Story 2, presented as a simulation RPG based on the Super Famicom title, with new elements added. You'll command characters like Liahat and Serena across 25 story-driven stages, utilizing a new mercenary system to hire various unit types like engineers and war elephants. The magic system has also been expanded to include more powerful area effect spells. Next is Steam Hearts, a port of the beautiful girl shooting game previously seen on PC and PC Engine. This Saturn version significantly enhances the visual presentation with redone graphics and the inclusion of rendering CG movies, including an exclusive opening sequence. While retaining the core gameplay of a vertical shooter, the game receives a substantial power-up in its visual style, making the charming anime aesthetic even more impressive. This page features an in-depth look at the highly anticipated fighting game, The King of Fighters 96. Front and center is a dynamic illustration of series protagonist Kyo Kusanagi, alongside multiple action-packed gameplay screenshots showcasing characters like Terry and Andy Bogard, Ryo Sakazaki, and Athena Asamiya. The article highlights several significant system upgrades from previous installments. The power gauge is now more dynamic, allowing for potential instant reversals. A fascinating new feature is the support attack system, where teammates can assist you during battle, influenced by character compatibility. Jumping mechanics have been expanded, with 3 distinct jump types: small, medium, and large, adding new tactical depth. A crucial addition is the emergency evasion, a new defensive maneuver that can drastically change the flow of combat when mastered. Overall, 96 introduces a suite of new systems, including guard cancels, designed to shift the dynamics of fights and require players to adapt their strategies. This page dives deep into the impressive roster of 27 fighters making their appearance in The King of Fighters 96. Organized into 9 distinct teams, you'll find the returning main hero team with Kyo Kusanagi, Benimaru Nikaido, and Goro Daimon, the fan-favorite Fatal Fury team featuring Terry, Andy, and Joe Higashi, and the Psychic Soldiers team with Athena Asamiya, Shikenso, and Chin Gensai. New to the tournament are the formidable Yagami team, spearheaded by Kyo's bitter rival Yori Yagami, alongside the enigmatic Mature and Vice. There's also a brand new women fighters team, bringing together Chizuru Kagura, Mai Shiranui, and Kasumi Todo. Rounding out the character lineup are the Ikari Warriors team, with Ralph Jones, Clark Still, and Leona Heidern, the Art of Fighting team featuring Ryo Sakazaki, Robert Garcia, and Yuri Sakazaki, and Kim Kafwan's team with Chang Kohan and Choi Bounge. Finally, the powerful boss team makes an appearance, uniting classic antagonists Geese Howard, Mr. Big, and Wolfgang Krauser. The page offers brief insights into each team's motivation for entering the tournament, showcasing the diverse personalities clashing in KOF 96. Various screenshots display intense matchups between these iconic fighters. This page delves into the systems of Can Can Bunny Premiere 2, a dating simulation adventure game. The report highlights what's new in this sequel, focusing on how players interact with the game world and its characters. The game begins with a unique opening scene, where an egg falls from the sky, setting the stage for the protagonist's journey. The core gameplay revolves around walking freely through the town map, seeking out and meeting the various girls. Once encountered, the primary interaction is through conversation. Point 1 emphasizes the conversation system, where choices impact the girl's affection towards the protagonist. This affection level is visually represented by an egg icon, changing color to indicate how close you are getting. Point 2 details the map system, explaining that moving around the town and encountering girls or events consumes in-game time, adding a strategic element to exploration. Point 3 touches on convenient features, like checking the affection status of all girls, also shown using the egg icons, and managing your schedule and planned actions. The game features 6 main girls for players to romance. There's also a mention of a voiced animated demo movie included. This page dives deep into the characters of Can Can Bunny Premiere 2, specifically highlighting the protagonist's connections. It introduces the 6 main girls who are key to the gameplay, along with supportive characters like Swati and Sawati, who act as the protagonist's helpers. The page presents character profiles for each of the main girls. Rui Ishitsuna, a high school classmate. Hinao Higashiyama, a lonely young lady. Hikaru Sakuraba, a diligent student. Tomoe Shinohara, a career woman. Yuki Hiyama, a childhood friend and store manager. And Ayako Fukawa, described as having a free-spirited lifestyle. Each profile includes artwork and a brief description of their personality and background. Various illustrations show the girls in different poses and outfits, from school uniforms and swimsuits to work attire and casual wear, often depicting them in everyday scenarios like eating a hamburger or relaxing at home. A pickup section gives a closer look at Rui Ishitsuna, showing multiple scenes featuring her, illustrating the nature of her relationship with the protagonist. There's also a small section noting a connection to the Pia Carrot series, a nice touch for fans of the developer's other titles. This page gives us a report on the ambitious 3D SF action-adventure game, Fake Down. Described as an unprecedented fighting adventure, the game is helmed by talented creators from the anime world, including Katsuhiro Otomo. It's presented as the follow-up report, specifically focusing on the key battle scenes, which utilize dynamic polygon characters. The core objective is to eliminate fakers, strange beings who transform after acquiring their opponent's dana. The gameplay involves fast-paced 3D fighting action within a dramatic story progression. The article notes the necessity of sharp reflexes and strategic reading of enemy movements to overcome the challenges. Screenshots depict the protagonist engaging in combat against various foes, including mechanical units and grotesque creatures, within detailed 3D environments, emphasizing the game's blend of exploration and intense close-quarters combat. The developers are described as a group of veteran creators, aiming to deliver a unique experience that merges fighting and adventure genres. The next page is an exclusive interview feature with the top art staff who worked on the game Fake Down, following up on the previous report. This time, the focus shifts to the visual world of the game, with interviews featuring art directors Hirotsugu Ogura, Hiroshi Honoma, Masaki Yoshizaki, and So Toyama. They discuss the creative process behind the game's environments, the challenges of bringing their anime background skills to a 3D game, and their preferences between traditional analog drawing and digital methods. The staff, veterans of major anime productions like Patlabor and Ghost in the Shell, share insights into designing the unique setting of Fake Down, blending different styles and grappling with the technical limitations of the time. They touch on everything from background details to character design, highlighting the collaborative effort required to build the game's world. The page includes samples of their background artwork and photographs of the interviewees. This page dives into the appeal and features of Galaxy Fraulein Yuna. It highlights 3 key aspects: the unique combat system reflecting character personalities, the abundance of cute girl characters and visual scenes, and the engaging adventure sequences. The article points out the visual scenes, showcasing charming character designs by Mika Akitaka, with screenshots of Yuna and rival characters like Lalia. It mentions animated sequences that precede the game. For the adventure sections, the page details the command-based system, where players progress the story by making choices. It emphasizes Yuna's charming personality and the voice acting, noting that most dialogue is voiced and features various silly moments. Screenshots show dialogue scenes with multiple characters. Finally, the combat system is discussed, describing it as a one-on-one battle against various distinct opponents. It mentions the use of attack, defense, and evade gauges that fluctuate, requiring players to time their button presses for optimal results, impacting damage dealt, defense, and evasion rate. Screenshots illustrate the combat interface with the gauges and action options. The overall tone is positive, focusing on the cuteness and fun of the game's systems. This page continues the reporting, focusing on the game DX Hired. It introduces the new character Karen, showcasing her design and providing details on her weapon, the chakram, contrasting it with the previously shown character Boy's sword. The page features several screenshots demonstrating the gameplay, highlighting the environment and character actions. It discusses utilizing the terrain, such as walls for movement and attacks, and specific moves like throws and slams. An interview section with 2 developers from Takara delves into the game's current status. They discuss the character roster, stating there are over 10 planned, and touch upon the character design process. Key aspects of the gameplay are highlighted, emphasizing an offensive combat style inspired by the Toshinden series, featuring easy command inputs and a focus on combos and reversals. They also mentioned overcoming development challenges related to processing speed and polygon counts, while praising the Saturn's unique features that aid in creating dynamic backgrounds and objects. A small table confirms the game is a fighting action title aiming for a spring release, currently around 30% complete, and will support 2 players. The overall report gives a good look at DxHerd's direction and development. This page provides a detailed report on the visual novel adventure game, Eve: Burst Error. The article highlights the game's intriguing mystery and compelling story, emphasizing its unique multi-site system that allows players to switch between 2 main characters' perspectives to unravel the narrative. The report is structured around 3 key words that are central to the game's plot. El Stadia is introduced as a Middle Eastern country with a complex political situation where a cultural clash is brewing. Terror refers to a dreaded assassin operating within El Lydia, known for using a knife and recently rumored to have arrived in Japan. Finally, the keyword Eve is the game's title itself, a mysterious element woven into the story that adds to its enigmatic atmosphere, despite not being a term used within the game itself. Accompanying the text are various character illustrations and screenshots, showing different scenes and characters involved in the unfolding drama, including the 2 main protagonists. The article encourages readers to watch the game's opening movie, designed as an animated preview, to further stimulate their imagination about the story. The report suggests the game's charm lies in its ability to engross players in its deep narrative and mysterious elements. This page continues the report on the mystery adventure game Eve: Burst Error, providing further details on the intertwined activities of the 2 protagonists, Kojiro and Marina, through the game's unique multi-site system. Screenshots illustrate Kojiro's investigation into a missing painting and Marina's task of guarding a visiting dignitary. The article highlights specific dates and events within the game's timeline, including Kojiro's encounter with the character Aqua and a situation involving saving a boy, emphasizing the distinct perspectives and cases each character handles that eventually connect. The page also introduces a new simulation game, Roommate, focusing on life with the character Ryoko Inoue. Illustrations of Ryoko and her friend Eri Nakayama are showcased. The section provides a brief overview of the game and includes an interview with Yumiko Fujino, the voice actress for Ryoko, discussing her experience and thoughts on the role and the game. A small gift campaign is also mentioned for readers interested in Roommates. This page covers updates on popular romance simulation games. The left section focuses on Tokimeki Memorial, providing details on new merchandise such as character Zippo lighters and keychains, along with information on the character Shiori Fujisaki's debut single, Teach Me Mr. Sky/Let's Go With the Wind. It also promotes an upcoming fan event and various present campaigns for readers. The right side introduces a new feature focusing on games from the developer Elf, beginning with the Sega Saturn version of Kakusei. This segment includes the first character file, introducing Mizuho Yuki, the idol of Uzuki Academy, detailing her personality and providing personal statistics, alongside a screenshot from the game. The page is packed with news for fans of these beloved dating sim titles, covering goods, events, and game updates. This page dives into the world of Far East of Eden, the Apocalypse IV, focusing on the game's progression into the Montana region after the Alaska prologue. It highlights the events and new characters players will encounter. Key figures introduced include Yuno, a crucial companion who joins the party and enables the protagonist to use magic, and Chief Bull, a wise Native American elder. The page also details the unique Eagle's Wing warp system, allowing travel between specific stone platforms across the map, and hints at a new antagonist, Doug, who is a pawn of the Dark Church. Screenshots showcase character portraits, battle scenes with Yuno, the overworld map of America, a more detailed map of Montana, and the magical warp locations. It's clear Montana is where the real adventure kicks off, expanding the party and introducing core gameplay mechanics like magic and fast travel. This page continues the journey in Far East of Eden, the Apocalypse IV, focusing on the arrival in the vibrant yet unsettling candy-colored Portland. Here, the party encounters the popular idol Candy and the strange influence she has over the city. The narrative progresses through a frenetic Candy concert, revealing her charismatic performance style, before shifting to the unsettling completion of Candy Town, built after defeating Doug, which features a casino among its bright facade. However, darkness lurks beneath the surface. The page also delves into the mystery of the protagonist Yuta's fire crest, questioning its true nature. The adventure takes a dramatic turn as Yuta and Yuno pursue Candy's bus, leading to a battle against Doug, who transforms into a wolf. The climax of this section is the showdown at Candy Tower, where the party confronts Candy in a final, action-packed battle sequence utilizing in-game animations. The page highlights the contrast between the saccharine exterior and the underlying darkness of Candy's world, showcasing various locations, character interactions, battles, and even the game's item shop interface. This page features an interview with Oji Hiroi, the creator and producer of the Far East of Eden series, focusing on Far East of Eden, The Apocalypse IV. Mr. Hiroi discusses the core themes and development challenges of the game. He touches on the game's critique of American culture from an Eastern viewpoint, the nature of the enemies who embody and mock human desires, and his philosophy that the player is the one who truly completes the game's narrative. He also reflects on the concept of what constitutes a true hero. The article is accompanied by photographs of Mr. Hiroi, anime-style character art, and a screenshot showcasing a character and battle scene from the game. Additionally, there is a small section promoting a radio program related to Far East of Eden. This page introduces the RPG Air's Adventure, presented as part of the RPG Big 3 collection. It highlights the game's unique world and strong story focus, created by Hideki Nagano. The narrative kicks off dramatically, with the protagonist facing execution, but being saved by a princess. This event plunges them into a hidden world and leads them to join a secret society. The core quest quickly emerges. The princess has been kidnapped, and the protagonist must find her. Along the journey, they encounter a suspicious figure named Segor, and follow a lead to a mysterious cave. The search eventually leads to the Temple of Sun and Moon, where a formidable dragon awaits. Upon its defeat, a fairy named Paku appears, revealing a connection to the sky-high world and further expanding the game's fantasy elements. The screenshots showcase various scenes, from the opening execution and early battles to exploration views of towns and dungeons, character interactions, and the encounter with the dragon and fairy, giving a glimpse into the game's visual style and key story moments. It seems the early game throws you right into the action with a compelling mystery and introduces fantastical elements early on. This page continues the RPG Big 3 Collection series, this time highlighting Shining the Holy Ark. It introduces some key characters and the early events of the game's story. Featured prominently are the Paladin Risa, the Dragonman warrior Basso, and the mysterious ninja Doyle, along with the protagonist, Arthur, likely referred to as Rhodey/Lodi in the Japanese text. The narrative details how Arthur and his companions are thrust into a difficult situation following a mission in the mine. They encounter Risa and Basso, who are seeking a missing person, and later cross paths with Doyle. The group navigates challenges like a blockade in Enriched Castle and an escape from an underground area, eventually making their way to a Polygon's manor. The text hints at the mystery surrounding Doyle's identity and memory loss, his connection to Arthur's group, and the dangers lurking, including a looming crisis for the Enriched Kingdom. The page is filled with screenshots showcasing dungeon exploration, town scenes, character dialogues, and combat, giving a good look at the game's perspective and visual style. It sets the stage for a journey filled with intrigue and confrontation right from the start. This page dives into the world of Nightruth 2, the sequel to the paranormal adventure game. As an expert in Sega's library, Nightruth promises a thrilling ride based on its title and the striking illustration of the character Maria featured prominently. This is described as being even more engaging than the first game, marking the return of this intriguing series. The page showcases several in-game screenshots, hinting at its visual novel or adventure gameplay style. There's also a section highlighting a voice selection disc for Making of Nightruth 2, giving players a look at the talented voice cast involved. Beyond the main feature, the page offers community content like the Conehead Club, a reader-focused column featuring short stories, anecdotes about gaming experiences like trying a demo of Chrono Micron or buying a Saturn, and some fun manga strips, touching on games like Street Fighter Alpha 2 and Shining Wisdom. This page is packed with community content, starting with the illustration gallery showcasing fan art for titles like Langrisser 2i, Tactics Ogre, Dragon Force, labeled Air's Adventure, Policenauts, and Grandia. The Conehead Club column features reader anecdotes, including discussions about games like Princess Maker 2 and Silky Lip, and even mentions characters from Sakura Wars. The Kids Hope Live section is a lively forum for player requests and opinions, with calls for Saturn ports of popular arcade and console titles such as Street Fighter 2i, Indy 500, Strider, Final Fight, Captain Commando, Virtua Striker, Virtua Cop 2, and Virtua Fighter 2, alongside discussions about publishers like Hudson, SNK, and Konami. Finally, the Sakura Gallery and a section labeled Hana are dedicated entirely to fan art celebrating the beloved Sakura Wars series, featuring illustrations of the main characters like Sakura, Iris, Maria, and the rest of the Flower Division. This page is a showcase of community passion, titled We Are Supporters. It features fan submissions ranging from detailed illustrations to heartfelt letters and questions. The Dragon Force Friends Club section displays stunning fan art for the strategy RPG Dragon Force and expresses hope for a sequel. The Tokimeki Enthusiast Club focuses on the popular dating sim Tokimeki Memorial, with readers sharing experiences dating characters like Shiori and Saki, accompanied by charming fan art. The Sega Am Freaks section celebrates Sega's arcade division, featuring a large illustration packed with characters from Virtua Fighter, Fighting Vipers, and more, alongside fan art for Virtua Fighter and a desire for Nights into Dreams illustrations. A dedicated section for Lao Chan from Virtua Fighter shows off fan art of him in the kitchen. The Conehead Club offers general fan art, including characters from Virtua Fighter and Cyber Troopers, Virtualon. The Lunar Magic Guild is dedicated to the Lunar series, displaying beautiful fan art of characters from Lunar, Eternal Blue, and Lunar Silver Star Story, highlighting the game's popularity. Finally, the Sedicata Fan Letters Q&A features magazine staff answering reader questions about their gaming preferences, including titles like Sakura Wars, Virtua Fighter, and classic Mega Drive games, offering a personal touch from the team. The page concludes with submission guidelines, encouraging readers to contribute their own art and thoughts to future issues. This page features a variety of news and event highlights for Sega Saturn fans. It kicks off by discussing the establishment of a management company dedicated to supporting game creators and announcing the launch of the SNK Supporters Club, offering fan benefits and game news. A big highlight is the formation of Buff the Band of Fighters, where popular SNK characters like Kyo Kusanagi, Iori Yagami, and Athena Asamiya are forming a band and planning musical releases, including a Neo Geo CD album. Competitive gaming is featured with the Super Puzzle Fighter 2 Turbo National Championship. The page details the preliminary rounds held in Osaka and Tokyo, and the finals taking place in Tokyo, noting that participation is open to everyone, and winners receive Capcom prizes. Screenshots of the game are included. Other events mentioned include the Cosplay Climax in Twin Star, an event for cosplay enthusiasts featuring dance and cosplay contests. There's also a look at promotions like a contest to win a PHS phone through Bandai's Geige no Kitaro product, and a campaign for a horse racing game titled Stake Winner G1, offering prizes for predicting race results. A report provides an interview with Eiko Kanazawa, the voice actor for the character Eiko Kanazawa in Metal Slug, where she shares her experiences voicing the role. Finally, there's a brief mention of a SFX action movie, Time Warrior, Demon Ghost, starring Tomoaki Yokoyama, known for his work related to Sakura Wars. This page is packed with updates and giveaways for Sega Saturn enthusiasts. There's an exciting event announcement for a trial play session of the upcoming game Enemy Zero, inviting the first 100 applicants to get hands-on with the game before its release at the Ginza Yamano Hall. The Dynamite Presents section offers readers a chance to win cool prizes. Up for grabs are a video CD from the Oratetsu series, a striking poster for Samurai Showdown, Warrior's Rage featuring key characters, a 1997 calendar showcasing art from Super Real Mahjong PV, and a charming phone card from Pup Breeder. For music fans, the recommended seeds highlight new soundtracks. This includes the score for the intense shooting game Battle Garega, a highly anticipated Saturn port, and a CD by the unit Ganasia, featuring the opening song from a popular anime, adding a vocal dimension to the gaming experience. Finally, the page features a comprehensive database, listing all 410 Sega Saturn titles, released up to November 22, 1996. This massive list is broken down by genre, such as action and role-playing games, providing detailed information for each title, serving as a vital reference for collectors and players looking to explore the Saturn's library. Details on how to apply for the various presents are also included. The next page continues the massive Sega Saturn database, presenting a comprehensive list of games organized by genre. This section covers simulation, adventure, sports, race, and puzzle titles, detailing each game's software number, name, publisher, release date, price, backup method, compatible peripherals, target age, overall score, and cumulative rank among all Saturn titles. Notable entries in the simulation section include titles like Wizard's Harmony and Gotha, while the adventure list features popular games such as Myst and Watkai Connection. Sports enthusiasts can find games like Virtua Striker and J.League Soccer Pro Clubs. The race section showcases titles like Daytona USA and Sega Rally Championship, while puzzles include Breakthrough and Baku Baku Animal. This detailed listing serves as an invaluable resource for players tracking the growing library of Saturn games. This page continues the comprehensive Sega Saturn database. It features extensive lists of games categorized under Other, Table, Mo, and Education/Database, detailing each entry with information like the publisher, release date, price, peripheral compatibility, and performance data such as scores and ranks. The page also includes a crucial section covering Sega Saturn hardware and peripherals. This part lists different console models, various controllers, joysticks, and other accessories, providing essential details for each item, including the manufacturer, release date, price, and a description of its capabilities. This page features a reader survey, giving fans a chance to win prizes. The survey covers topics like reader demographics, magazines they read, consoles they own, what they're currently playing, and what content they'd like to see in the magazine, including specific games they'd like covered from the extensive list provided later. The main draw is the present giveaway, featuring several Sega Saturn games for 5 winners each, including titles like The King of Fighters, 96, Space Invaders, and others such as Ganso Sayuki, Ginga Ojosama Densetsu Yuna Remix, Roommate Inoue Ryuko, and Tenchi Muu Ryuki. 70 readers also have a chance to win a phone card featuring Virtual On, Cyber Troopers. The page also includes tables listing the articles featured in this issue, names of other magazines, and various console names. A significant portion is dedicated to a large table enumerating Sega Saturn software titles, which are referenced in the survey questions. Instructions on how to fill out the survey postcard are also provided, emphasizing clarity for computer processing. This page dives into the busy world of Sega Saturn development, with the 11th entry of the CS Development Room Diary, teasing exciting winter releases. There's a cool giveaway featuring t-shirts for Dragon Force and Christmas Nights into Dreams, giving fans a chance to snag some exclusive gear. The developers also share some behind-the-scenes insights into the Neon Genesis Evangelion game, discussing branching story paths and specific techniques players can use, like navigating the simulator and managing events. A producer answers a fan's question about strategy in horse racing games, highlighting the use of real-world data. The main spotlight is on Enemy Zero. This special report provides early details based on a working development room. The feature is packed with information, showcasing cinematic sequences and giving readers a glimpse into the atmosphere of the game. It's noted that development is in its final stages, with the scenario playable to the end on the development kit, and the game is nearing release. Interestingly, the report confirms that the second disc is playable, indicating the multi-disc nature of the title. The page features stunning screenshots of the game's protagonist, Laura Lewis, and futuristic environments, building anticipation for this unique horror-adventure game. The page also invites readers to send in their questions and thoughts to the development team. This page continues the in-depth look at Enemy Zero, guiding players through the initial steps and environments in the game. It starts by detailing the smooth control players have over the player character, referred to as EO, allowing free movement and exploration. The report covers the starting area, Laura Lewis's room, where players get acquainted with the controls and the environment. Key items essential for progression are highlighted, including the voice recorder for saving, the VPS for enemy detection, and the locker key needed to access specific areas. The page showcases early locations, like a locked room, Marcus's room, a locker room where key items are found, and a storeroom containing network terminals providing valuable information. It emphasizes environmental puzzles, such as dealing with a non-functional elevator that requires finding an alternative route. The narrative then leads to a manual elevator used to descend to the next floor, a vast warehouse, where the first encounters with the game's invisible enemies are anticipated. The text provides hints and tips for these early challenges, setting the stage for the unique horror experience. This page continues the deep dive into the unique horror of Enemy Zero. It moves beyond the initial exploration covered previously to discuss the game's progression, highlighting how the narrative evolves into intense human drama during the later movie sequences, shifting focus from the initial battles and puzzles. Screenshots depict dramatic moments, including a distressed Laura, and an interaction with Kimberly, raising questions about her role and journey armed only with a knife. The page also features an interview with director Kenji Ino, who emphasizes the game's emotional impact, stating that players will truly shed tears by the end. He touches on the gameplay experience, mentioning that while the full game wasn't finished for his testing, the development build allowed him to play through, noting a playtime of around 10 hours on easy mode, or 7 for seasoned players. He advises playing in a calm mental state to fully appreciate the story and cinematic moments. Further details are given on the enemies and difficulty settings, contrasting the easy and normal modes, and the helpful hints present in easy. Finally, the page showcases an astonishingly priced 200,000 yen special box limited edition. This premium package includes highly collectible items like a character figure, a piece of an enemy model, a replica jacket designed by Kenji Ino for a companion character, 20 different premium goods, and of course, the game itself. It's a truly deluxe offering for the dedicated fan. This page focuses on Mobile Suit Gundam Side Story 2, The Inheritor of the Blue, highlighting its impending release and revealing details about the final stage. It features multiple screenshots showcasing gameplay, including combat against the MS-08TX exam Efreet Custom. The page also includes an interview with the producer, Koji Inoue, discussing the game's development and improvements over its predecessor. Inoue talks about the enhanced visuals and the implementation of twin-stick controls, which adds a new layer of immersion and fun for players. A detailed look at the RX-79BD Gym Striker is also presented, explaining its various units and their roles within the narrative. The magazine builds excitement for the game, emphasizing the intense battles and emotional depth players can expect from the final chapter of the side story series. This page dives into the world of Dukusei 2, highlighting its leap in graphical quality thanks to a super high-resolution mode. The visuals are praised for their intricate detail, promising a beautiful experience that surpasses the previous game. Beyond the enhanced graphics, the Saturn version boasts a significant increase in original content, adding roughly 20% more scenarios and character interactions compared to the PC original. Screenshots showcase various characters and scenes, emphasizing the improved visual fidelity. There's also a note about the inclusion of Graduation, another game, bundled with Dukusei 2. The game is described as an adventure genre title for one player. This page is a comprehensive strategy guide for the Sega Saturn game, Legend of Galactic Heroes. It dives deep into the strategic elements required to master the vast space battles of this simulation game. The guide is broken down into key areas, starting with essential fund management for operating your fleets, explaining how to utilize income from controlled star systems, and how events can provide valuable supplemental funds. It stresses the importance of using events efficiently to avoid waste. Next, it covers the fundamentals of fleet formation before battle. A crucial piece of advice is to always assign a staff officer to an admiral, as they provide significant strategic benefits. The guide also touches on the importance of selecting the right admirals based on rank and abilities. Tactically, the page details how to choose different fleet formations, showing diagrams of how formations impact attack range and movement. It explains how formations can be changed during battle for flexibility. Different fleet types are discussed, suggesting combinations like long-range attack fleets and short-range maneuver fleets tailored for specific objectives, such as fortress assaults. Screenshots throughout the page illustrate fleet positions on star maps and tactical battle displays, alongside character portraits of key figures like Reinhardt and Kircheiss. The page also includes a table outlining the performance stats for different fleet types for both the Galactic Empire and the Free Planets Alliance, providing data for tactical planning. It confirms the game is a tactical simulation for one player on the Saturn. This page continues the strategic guide for Legend of Galactic Heroes, focusing on the early game challenges faced by the Galactic Empire player. It emphasizes preparing for the inevitable aristocratic rebellion, known as the Lippstadt Rebellion, detailing its timing and suggesting fleet positioning in anticipation. A major focus is placed on the crucial operation to capture Iserlohn Fortress. The guide outlines the necessary preparations, including accumulating supply points, and mentions events that occur leading up to this, such as the Twilight of the Gods operation. It highlights the importance of clearing enemy fleets before assaulting the fortress. A specific, vital tip is provided on how to prevent the death of Siegfried Kircheiss, a key character, during a specific event, allowing players to alter the narrative outcome. The page also includes a list detailing the initial abilities and ranks of the Galactic Empire's admirals, providing key data for players to assess their commanders. Finally, it offers a tactical lesson demonstrating the importance of maintaining effective fleet range during combat, with visual examples of good and bad positioning. This page delves into the strategy for playing as the Free Planets Alliance in Legend of Galactic Heroes. Contrasting their challenges with the Galactic Empire, it highlights the Alliance's significant lack of skilled personnel, emphasizing the importance of key figures like Yang Wenli and Frederica Greenhill, who are essential for success. A notable advantage for the Alliance is the ease with which they can capture Iserlohn Fortress early in the game, a stark contrast to the Empire's struggle. However, the guide points out that dealing with the Imperial stronghold of Geisberg Fortress requires a more patient approach. The page also warns that while the early game might seem easier for the Alliance, specific in-game events, particularly those related to the Goldenbaum dynasty, can make the late game considerably more difficult as the Empire consolidates power. A fun character note is included, explaining the steps needed to trigger the event, allowing Yang to propose to Frederica. Tactical advice is provided in combat lessons, discussing how to effectively combine multiple fleets into larger forces, and the importance of fleet composition and range. It also details using main fleets in conjunction with strike forces to control engagement distance. A table listing the initial abilities of Alliance admirals is presented for reference. Screenshots throughout the page illustrate key moments, battle scenarios, and character portraits. This page features the final installment of the Sakura Wars Development Team interview series, focusing on the combat part. It poses the question, did you see the final strategy event? The spread includes a large logo for Sakura Wars, character art of Sakura Shinguji, and various screenshots showcasing gameplay, including battle scenes and character portraits. A significant portion is dedicated to a roundtable discussion with the Sega development team. The interview covers the evolution of the battle system, from its initial concept to the final version. It highlights the challenges of balancing the simulation and adventure game elements, and how the team integrated them. The developers share insights into unexpected aspects of development, and how they achieved the distinct Sakura Wars feel. The page also introduces the female developers on the team, underscoring their contributions. There's a section discussing how the finished game surprised even the developers themselves. Screenshots depict iconic moments like the victory pose, decided screen, and a combined attack animation. A small table provides basic game information like format and player count, but the core focus is the developer's perspective on bringing this unique game to life. This page features the final parts of the interview with the Sakura Wars development team. One section discusses the design philosophy behind making every character feel like a potential protagonist, contrasting it with traditional RPGs focused on leveling one main character. They talk about how the trust system and other mechanics were developed to achieve this, allowing player choices to influence character interactions and development beyond just stats. Screenshots show a character status display for a Kubu mech and a battle scene featuring Maria. The page then highlights key events from the first half of the story, including moments from Episode 1, such as finding Sumair changing clothes, and Episode 2, showing the unexpected first meeting with Ayame. Screenshots accompany these previews. Finally, the developers offer their concluding thoughts on creating Sakura Wars, reflecting on the challenges and the finished product. The page also includes an announcement for a fan popularity poll, asking readers to vote for their favorite characters, memorable scenes, and emotional moments via postcard. This page showcases the revival of the acclaimed simulation RPG, Tactics Ogre, Let Us Cling Together, now arriving on the Sega Saturn after its initial release on the Super Famicom. The feature begins by introducing the story centered around young Denham Powell and his companions, Katua and Vice, amidst the conflict on Valeria Island. It explains the core gameplay loop involves navigating a regional map where you manage your army and prepare for strategic battles, punctuated by story events. Key systems highlighted include unit formation for adjusting character stats, equipment, and classes. The class change system is crucial for strengthening units, with different classes favoring different stats upon level up. Players can train units in a special training mode and visit the shop to buy items, equipment, and even recruit new members. The page also touches on magic, item management, including weight, and the importance of alignment, law, chaos, neutral, which affects class options and unit recruitment. Preparing for battle involves selecting and positioning your attack team of up to 10 units. Information about the world, characters, and events is accessed via the detailed Warren Report. A significant feature is the multi-scenario and multi-ending system, where player choices directly influence the narrative path and conclusion. The page includes screenshots showing the regional map, battle setup, unit stats, shop menu, and dialogue scenes, providing a solid overview of this complex and strategic title. It also features a map detailing the political divisions of Valeria at the start of the game. This page delves deeper into the highly strategic combat system of Tactics Ogre. Let us cling together, starting with the fundamental WT, wait turn, and attack turn, systems that dictate unit order and actions. WT determines when a unit gets their turn based on various factors, while AT is where you choose what action they perform, such as moving, attacking, or using an item. The page breaks down the different types of attacks available: direct attack, special attack, magic attack, and projectile attack, like bows or guns, each with unique properties and ranges. Tactical positioning is crucial. Attacking enemies from the side or rear significantly increases your hit rate compared to facing them head-on. Height differences also play a role, influencing attack range and providing advantages or disadvantages depending on the terrain. It also touches upon elemental attributes and how they affect damage and defense, as well as the importance of stats like int and men for effective magic use and MP recovery. Finally, it mentions specific weapon characteristics and effects, like the rare knockback attack that can push units away. Screenshots illustrate the combat interface, movement, and attack indicators, emphasizing the depth of the tactical layer in battles. This page introduces Multi-Lancer, Galactic Girl Police 2086, a simulation game where you take command of a squad of 6 unique female investigators, known as Lancers, tasked with protecting a futuristic city from criminal aliens. The core gameplay revolves around alternating between 2 modes: the meeting mode, where you interact with your Lancers to guide their training and development, and the schedule mode, where you assign them patrols and missions to combat rising crime. Success in apprehending criminals and handling special events tests your Lancers' abilities and improves their evaluation, leading to promotions and access to powerful equipment, making them more effective crime fighters. The game features critical emergency missions, where dangerous, special ability criminals appear, requiring careful deployment of your most capable Lancers. Interestingly, failure to capture a criminal doesn't mean game over, but it does impact evaluations, emphasizing the need for strategic training and retries if needed. You'll get to know the 6 distinct Lancers, each with their own background and powers, as you lead them to bring peace back to the city. This page features Koryu Sangoku Engi, a 3 Kingdoms simulation, and Discworld, a fantasy adventure game. This page is dedicated to Super Puzzle Fighter 2 Turbo, featuring the popular Capcom fighting game characters in a charming chibi style. The page announces the complete port of the popular arcade puzzle game. It explains the core gameplay loop of dropping and matching colored gems to clear them and send disruptive counter gems to your opponent. The article details the different types of gems, including normal gems, power gems formed by making a 2x2 square, crash gems that clear adjacent gems, rainbow gems which clear all gems of a specific color, and counter gems sent to the opponent. It highlights that each character has unique attack patterns regarding the shape and timing of the counter gems they send. 3 game modes are described: arcade mode against the CPU, versus mode for 2 players, and the Saturn exclusive street puzzle mode, where you face 8 characters and uncover hidden items and characters. The page also mentions 3 hidden characters are usable. The overall tone is positive, emphasizing the successful port and the fun, strategic depth of the game. This page is dedicated to Jikyo Oshibari Parodius, a port of the popular arcade shooting game from the Parodius series. Known for its challenging gameplay combined with quirky humor and parody elements, this installment brings the Chowdic fun to home consoles. A major highlight is the addition of live voice commentary, with dialogue that changes based on the stage and current situation, adding a unique layer to the experience. The game also features a more diverse range of power-ups and attack methods than previous entries, including new systems like angry attacks and slot chances. Players will navigate through 8 distinct and often bizarre stages, following the story of Takohiko the Octopus, searching for the legendary Phantom Takoyaki. The character roster is extensive, featuring 8 character types, each with 2 variations, offering 16 different ways to play, each with differing equipment and strategies. Classic Konami characters like Vic Viper, Twinbee, and Pentaro return alongside parodious originals. The page also mentions bonus games and a cooperative two-player mode enhanced by the live commentary, promising double the fun. Collecting blue fairies is highlighted as a way to unlock options and bonuses. The overall tone suggests excitement for the successful port and the wealth of content it offers. This page delves into the unique world of Magic Carpet, a game that blends simulation elements with exciting 3D shooting. Players take on the role of a wizard flying a magic carpet, battling fantastical creatures, and collecting mana, the source of power. The core objective isn't just defeating enemies, but gathering enough mana to restore balance to the world. The game progresses by clearing levels, each with specific conditions, such as building a castle or accumulating a set amount of mana. Mana appears after defeating enemies, and must be converted and collected by your balloon before opponents can steal it. Building castles is crucial for storing mana and progressing, ideally in locations difficult for enemies to attack. Spellcasting is also vital, with various offensive and defensive spells available in your spellbook. The page details the gameplay flow, the importance of mana conversion and collection, and how clear conditions become progressively stricter as you advance. It also touches on screen information like status bars for your castle, mana balloon, and your wizard, plus a mini-map showing locations of interest including enemies. The controls are tailored for the multi-controller, offering intuitive movement and action mapping suitable for its 3D flight and combat. This title is highlighted for its distinct feel compared to typical flight or shooting games due to the simulation and management aspects integrated into the action. This page features a look at two contrasting shooting games. On the left, we have Crazy Ivan, a unique 3D shooter from Psygnosis, where you pilot a massive robot fighting aliens. The premise involves selecting a pilot under psychological treatment due to the intense stress of controlling the mech. Gameplay focuses on liberating areas, tracking targets via on-screen information, and destroying specific objectives like the sentient units and shield generators to clear missions within time limits. It emphasizes tactical combat and managing the flow of battle. On the right, the page highlights the legendary Space Invaders, showcasing the original arcade classic with a new feature, a competitive two-player battle mode. It praises the faithful recreation of the arcade experience, including famous techniques like the Nagoya attack. The home version offers different display types mimicking the original arcade cabinet screens, and introduces special invaders with unique effects to spice up the versus matches, making for heated head-to-head competition. This page presents two distinct types of simulation experiences for the Sega Saturn. On the left, we have the Aquazone series, specifically highlighting the option discs, volumes 1 through 5. These expansion packs allow players to enrich their virtual aquariums by adding new tropical fish, plants, and accessories, offering a personalized experience in raising and breeding fish simulated according to the Saturn's clock. Players can customize their tank layouts with various items introduced across the different volumes, enhancing the simulation gameplay. On the right, the page features From the Car Window of the World, a travel simulation series based on a popular Japanese television show. This particular volume focuses on the scenic Jungfrau region of Switzerland. Players can virtually travel through the area, enjoying video and photos of famous sites, riding trains like the Mountain Railway, and exploring locations such as Interlaken. A unique feature allows players to capture their favorite views and save them as a personal travel album, providing an immersive visual journey. This Sega Saturn software overview covers 7 titles, focusing on games released around December 12-13th. The piece features reviews from 13 reviewers, providing context for their opinions. Key games reviewed include Tactics Ogre, Let Us Cling Together, a port of the classic tactical RPG praised for its visual and sound improvements, story, and strategy, 8.610. Longlong Sengwo Enji, a three-kingdom simulation, is noted as dated, but suitable for genre fans, 5.010. Samurai Shodown 2-1, Blades of Blood, a fighting game port, is lauded for its refined mechanics and polished feel, 6.610. Finally, Melty Lancer Ginga Shoujo Keisatsu, 2086, a simulation game, is recommended for its character development, 6.810. This page reviews 6 Sega Saturn games, primarily focusing on the shooting genre. Hyperduel, an arcade port, impressed with its smooth gameplay and strategic elements. Thunder Force Gold Pack 2, a compilation, was praised for its faithful ports of Thunder Force IV and AC, though though the series difficulty remained. Mobile Suit Gundam Side Story 2, under the white base, offered improved presentation and tactical depth. Magic Carpet, a 3D shooter with spellcasting, was deemed intriguing but potentially flawed in its graphics and controls. Jikyu Oshabari Parodius, a humorous shooter, was appreciated for its presentation, but its mechanics were considered shallow. Finally, Crazy Ivan, a B-grade 3D shooter with mechs, delivered a straightforward action experience. The reviews highlight the Saturn's diverse game library, with shooting titles appealing to a range of players. This page reviews several Sega Saturn games, showcasing the console's diverse library. Space Invaders, a classic arcade port, is praised for its addictive, nostalgic gameplay. Discworld, an adventure game, offers a unique graphical style but may be challenging for newcomers. Super Puzzle Fighter 2 Turbo, a competitive puzzle game, is lauded for its strategic depth and exciting battles. Mobile Suit Gundam Side Story 2-1, Sealed War, building on its predecessor, receives praise for its enhanced presentation and WOM's movement. Tactics Ogre, Let Us Cling Together, a tactical RPG, is positively reviewed for its deep strategy and engaging story. Finally, Sakura Wars, a blend of simulation and strategy, impresses with its rich story, charming characters, and voice acting. The reviews highlight games with depth, unique gameplay, and strong presentation across various genres. This page dives into various tips and secrets for several Sega Saturn games, continuing the exploration of the console's library with a focus on hidden content and useful tricks. Featured prominently are tips for Street Fighter Alpha 2, specifically how to unlock an alternate color for Sakura in survival mode by following a specific sequence of character selections. It also provides details on unlocking the hidden boss Zankuro Minazuki in Samurai Showdown 2i through a precise character selection order on the character select screen. Other games receiving attention include Sexy Parodius, where a special stage can be unlocked after clearing the game normally, and Legend of Ogre Battle, March of the Black Queen, which features a hidden scenario accessible by naming specific characters certain ways, and a simple command to speed up gameplay. Sega Ages, Outrun gets a nod for adding a new cornering option via a code on the title screen, altering the car's handling. Finally, a quick tip for easier cursor movement in Eternal Melody is shared. The page highlights hidden features that extend gameplay and reward dedicated players for finding these secrets across different genres. It emphasizes the fun in discovering these unlockables, from alternate character appearances to entirely new stages and scenarios. This page showcases upcoming arcade prizes from Sega, featuring items revealed at a recent exhibition. The focus is on attractive goods based on popular games from Sega's arcade and Saturn lineup, scheduled for release between April and June. April's offerings include Puyo Puyo rolling cleaners and keychain mascots from mobile battleship Nadesico. Looking ahead to May, fans can anticipate a special collection of Neon Genesis Evangelion Rei Ayanami figures and plush keychains for Virtua Fighter 3 and Sakura Wars characters. Additional prizes include Puyo Puyo wind chimes and plushies based on Magical Drop 3 characters. Several other items like Tama and Friends, music boxes, and Sesame Street cushions are also listed. June brings plush toys from the Last Bronx and high-grade t-shirts featuring Neon Genesis Evangelion designs. There are also large Puyo Puyo plushies available in a Level Championship series. The page highlights a diverse range of merchandise, from small keychains and figures to larger plushies and apparel, catering to fans of various Sega hits. This page features a character strategy guide for Shundai in Virtua Fighter 3. It focuses on mastering his unique drunken fighting style and key techniques. The guide covers various aspects of Shundai's gameplay, including the importance of drinking to enhance his combat, utilizing delayed attacks to confuse opponents, mastering low combination attacks, and effectively using his rear throw. It also highlights specific powerful combos, such as a fatal mid-air combo capable of dealing significant damage. The page includes multiple screenshots illustrating these techniques and strategies against different opponents, providing visual examples of Shundai's moves and their execution. This guide aims to help players understand and utilize Shundai's distinct approach to battle, emphasizing his ability to disrupt opponents and capitalize on openings. This page dives into AM2's upcoming racing game, currently known by the working title Supercar. It offers a detailed look at the game's content, highlighting the powerful Model 3 graphics engine, which is a major feature, capable of rendering realistic CG. The game is set to feature 4 courses initially, 2 for beginners and 2 advanced tracks. Interestingly, one of the advanced courses is confirmed to run indoors, within a grand palace-like structure, showcasing detailed architecture and decorations. Beginner courses are set at night, emphasizing lighting effects. The advanced courses promise tricky layouts, with significant elevation changes and large curves, some even featuring obstacles like in a stadium setting. Featured cars include a beautifully rendered Dodge Viper and the iconic Ferrari F40, which the page previews. The game will support a significant number of cars on track, exceeding 40 simultaneously, creating intense racing battles. Players will also have multiple view camera options, which are noted as impacting difficulty and strategic advantage. A time attack mode is also confirmed. The page includes behind-the-scenes details, such as AM2 staff conducting sound recording at Fuji Speedway to capture authentic engine sounds and ambiance. A professional racing driver, Yasuchika Nakagoshi, shares his impressions after experiencing the game, comparing it to real-world driving. Finally, a small AM2 fan section shows off illustrations, including characters from Virtua Fighter 2 like Pai-chan and Shundai, suggesting fan art or a related contest. This page previews several exciting games, coming soon to the Sega Saturn. First up is YLA Country Club, True Golf Classics, a golf game that's a remake of a Super Famicom title, now featuring an additional 36 holes for a total of 3 courses and 54 holes. The game boasts realistic graphics and detailed courses based on the real YLA Country Club in Hawaii, including unique features like the volcano bunker on the Hawaii course. It supports up to 4 players and includes modes like the skin match. The screenshots showcase the detailed fairway, green, and player models during swings, emphasizing the golf action and various course types like windy and lake layouts. Next, we get a look at Bug 2. Who, the sequel to the 3D action game Bug. Building on the original, this title offers enhanced graphics and varied stages, moving beyond the jungle theme into diverse environments like space, water, kaleidoscope, and Egypt. The game features perspective changes and dynamic camera work to enhance the action. Screenshots highlight the colorful and distinct visual styles of these different worlds. Finally, Mr. Bones is introduced, a unique 3D action game where you play as a skeleton. The core gameplay involves using your bones to attack enemies, and even rearranging your body to navigate challenges. The preview hints at realistic character movement and detailed backgrounds, promising a distinct and engaging experience. Screenshots depict the skeletal protagonist in action, fighting off creatures and exploring atmospheric environments like a cave and a graveyard. This page previews several more titles coming soon to the Sega Saturn. First up is Elevator Action Returns, a console port of the arcade hit, bringing the classic spy action of navigating buildings via elevators, defusing bombs, and taking down terrorists. Players can choose from multiple characters, each with unique animations. Next is Spot Goes to Hollywood, an action game starring the 7-Up mascot. Spot jumps and attacks his way through various movie-themed levels, collecting items to power up. The screenshots show diverse environments, like a pirate ship and a minecart level. Following that is Batman Forever, the arcade game, based on the movie. This action title lets players control either Batman or Robin, battling enemies in Gotham City, using combat moves and special attacks to maintain peace. We also see WWF in Your House, a wrestling game featuring a roster of popular WWF superstars. Players can execute signature moves, aerial attacks, and weapon attacks, with a focus on dynamic finishers. Finally, Blam! Machine Head is previewed, a 3D shooting game where you pilot a hovercraft called the Hoverblade. The mission is to destroy the core of a mysterious virus to save humanity, navigating various stages, and completing objectives. A message from a developer is highlighted. Upcoming games span various genres. Cleopatra Fortune is a puzzle game requiring strategic block clearing. Hergetix Adventures, a 2-player action RPG, lets players choose from 3 heroes battling through Greek mythology. Eknis Fantasy Story is an RPG remake, with class-based story paths and dynamic battles. Advantist vs. Dig is a fighting game featuring female characters with accessible special moves and powerful super attacks. Chow Flappy offers classic block-pushing gameplay across 200 levels. Briefly mentioned are updates on the STV shooter, Seirei Kuki Leizen, and the PC title, Ayu Kurin, while the simulation game, H&T Dragon's Heaven, was cancelled. This page features an exciting status report on upcoming Sega Saturn titles. It provides a comprehensive look at the development progress for a variety of anticipated games. Several major releases are highlighted, including the arcade port Die Hard Arcade, known as Dynamite Deca in Japan, promising intense action, the updated racing experience of Daytona USA Circuit Edition supporting peripherals, and the highly anticipated crossover 2D fighter X-Men vs. Street Fighter, noted as being in excellent shape for its Saturn port. RPG enthusiasts have plenty to look forward to, with updates on the epic Grandia and Lunar 2. Eternal Blue, alongside unique titles like the atmospheric dungeon crawler Baroque, and the latest entry in the Far East of Eden series, the Fourth Apocalypse. The report covers a diverse range of other genres, including the puzzle game Panel de Pon, potentially related to Tetris Attack, the stylish action game Silhouette Mirage, strategy titles like Assault Suit Lenos 2 and Quo Vadis 2, and racing action in Zero Yan Champ Doozy Typer. Updates are also provided for adventure games, such as Even Burst Error and Obelisk, as well as several titles popular in Japan's unique gaming scene, including dating sims and visual novels like Kakusei, Dokusei 2, Sentimental Graffiti, and Roommate. Each entry offers a brief description, genre, and an indication of development progress, giving readers a detailed preview of the Saturn's upcoming library. This page presents a release calendar, offering a look at upcoming Sega Saturn and Game Gear titles. It breaks down anticipated games by month and year, providing insights into pricing, publishers, and sometimes provisional details. The Sega Saturn section covers releases scheduled from November into the following year, including titles already released like the action game Blood Factory and the soccer sim Victory Goal Worldwide Edition, and upcoming games such as the Sega arcade ports Sega Rally Championship and Super Puzzle Fighter 2X. Looking further ahead into the new year and beyond, the calendar highlights many highly anticipated releases across genres. For RPG fans, major titles like Grandia and Lunar 2, Eternal Blue, are listed among the games with undecided release dates. Action game enthusiasts can look forward to titles like Die Hard Arcade, listed as Dynamite Deca USA Circuit Edition, and the fighting game X-Men vs. Street Fighter. The list also includes popular Saturn franchises like Panzer Dragoon Saga, Shining Force 2 Eyes, Knights, and Virtua Fighter 3, all marked with undecided dates, showing a robust future lineup for the console. A smaller section is dedicated to upcoming Game Gear titles, listed under the Kids Gear branding. Finally, a small panel explains the terminology and symbols used throughout the calendar, helping readers understand the status of each game's release information. The page serves as a comprehensive guide to the near and long-term future of the Saturn library. This page is dominated by a stunning feature on the upcoming Sega Saturn title, Sakura Wars. The artwork of the main character, Sakura Shinguji, is front and center, along with the game's title logo, Sakura Taisen. It's described as a dramatic adventure and simulation hybrid, introducing the innovative LIPS interactive story system, which promised dynamic storytelling based on player choices. The page highlights key features like digital color, high-quality CG, and character trust influencing the narrative, all set against the backdrop of the imperial capital in the Taisho era, where the Imperial Assault Force battles demonic threats. Production staff like producer Oji Hiroi and character designer Kosuke Fujishima are featured, along with mention of the lead voice actress. Screenshots show the strategic combat and adventure segments. A limited edition package is also detailed. Elsewhere on the page are indexes for the magazine's game and advertisement sections, an editor's note, and contact information. There's also a small ad for Fighters Megamix. This page features a spread showcasing two distinct Sega Saturn titles. On the left is Mobile Suit Gundam Side Story 1, The Blue of Fear, highlighting the iconic blue mobile suit and its role in this side story set during the One-Year War. The text teases the mystery behind the exam system and the awakening of protagonist Yu Kojima as a new Shifa type. It emphasizes dynamic combat and challenging missions in increasing battle intensity. The release date is clearly displayed as December 6, 1996. The right side presents the spooky world of Jage no Kitaro, a text-adventure game. The artwork immediately sets a chilling tone, with its depiction of a haunted, snow-covered scene. The game promises to capture the eerie atmosphere of the original work, focusing on strange events in a village. Screenshots show detailed character portraits consistent with the source material, suggesting a focus on narrative and visual presentation. It is set for release on December 27, 1996. The page also briefly mentions a promotional giveaway,